Today I'm sharing a budget-friendly alternative to a traditional jeweler's bench, and I'm filming it in English just because I think this might be a useful tip for the metalsmithing community. I didn't find anything similar to this advice when I was searching for a cheap jeweler's bench alternative, so I hope this helps someone like it helped me. If you're just starting out in jewelry making or working with a small space, this setup might be perfect for you. I'll show you how I turned an IKEA Sundvik changing table into a functional jeweler's workstation without breaking the bank. One of the best things about this setup is the price. I found this IKEA Sundvik table on Facebook Marketplace for just 60 euros, and it was in very good condition. Brand new, it costs around 200 euros, but since it's a piece of furniture that's generally only used for a short period of time, while the baby is still small, it's often sold in great shape despite being second-hand. This makes it a super affordable option compared to a proper jeweler's bench. The cheapest one available in Croatia costs around 750 euros, so this setup saves me a huge amount of money while being functional. It's higher than a regular desk, so you don't have to hunch over while working. For reference, the IKEA Sundvik table measures approximately 110 centimeters in height, 79 centimeters in width, and 50 centimeters in depth. Since the table is compact, it fits well in small spaces while still providing enough room for essential tools and materials. Secondly, it has this folding top section. When it's down, you have a rather big workspace, but if you lift it up, it creates a little storage area underneath. I use this space to store tools and small materials I need within reach. Personally, I believe I'll be using it folded like this most of the time, but it's good to know that you can easily enlarge the size of your working space if needed. You should keep in mind that when it's unfolded, it's best used while standing or sitting on a taller stool. To make this setup even more functional, I added a few simple modifications. I attached a cupboard handle to the side of the table, which I use to hang my pliers. This keeps them organized and easy to grab while I work. I also installed a small hook on which I can hang up my flex shaft, a cleaning cloth, or something else I need within reach. One of my favorite additions is a wooden plank that I'm using as a dust collecting drawer. Once I sand the edges, it will slide in perfectly underneath my workspace to catch metal dust and filings, making cleanup so much easier. These little changes make a big difference in making the table more practical for jewelry work. I'm sure that I'll be adding more of them with time. You could definitely set up a soldering station on this table as well, but I decided to arrange my workspace a little differently. I placed my stool between two tables to maximize space and stay more organized. On one side, I have this IKEA table for tasks like sewing, filing, and assembling jewelry, and on the other side I have a regular table where I do all of my soldering and admin work for my business. This setup helps me separate different tasks, keeping my workspace cleaner and making my workflow more efficient. Regarding storage, this table has two big drawers, 3 shelves, and quite a lot of space underneath the table. In the first drawer, I decided to put everything needed for working safely, because that kind of equipment usually needs to be stored in a dark and closed-off area, but which is easy to reach at the same time too. So here I have my masks, gloves, alligator tape, and similar stuff. I also added my sanding papers and polishing paste because there was some space left in the drawer and those come in handy while working. In the second drawer, I put everything related to shaping metal. So here I have my hammers, doming blocks, steel blocks, mandrels, and stuff like that. On the shelves, I put my tumbler, my dust collector, saws, files, stamps, and similar stuff. I will probably be reorganizing this part with time, so let me know if you have any recommendations. One of the common concerns with budget-friendly options in metalsmithing tables is stability. The Sundvik is pretty sturdy on its own. Its base material is not fiberboard like in most IKEA furniture, but solid pine. But if you're doing a lot of hammering, you might want to reinforce it a bit or do that task on a different surface. So, is this a perfect replacement for a real jeweler's bench? Well, not quite, but it's a great alternative if you're on a budget or short on space. Here's a quick rundown of the pros and cons. I want to emphasize that this setup is a great option only if you're on a budget or working with limited space. If you can afford a proper jeweler's bench, I would definitely recommend investing in something more durable that will last you a lifetime. However, for those of us looking for a low-cost alternative, this table does the job surprisingly well. I'm also a big advocate for buying second-hand whenever possible, especially from IKEA, since it's essentially fast furniture, designed for short-term use and often discarded. By giving pieces like this a second life, we save money and reduce waste, which is a win-win. Overall, I'm really happy with this setup. It's a proof that you don't need to spend a fortune to create a functional workspace. If you're looking for a budget-friendly jeweler's bench alternative, this might be worth trying. Let me know what you think in the comments. Would you try this setup? And if you have any other budget-friendly jewelry making tips, share them below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more jewelry making content. See you next time.